A couple's dream of bringing more housing to Fort Benton is closer to reality. MTN's Owen Skornick-Hayes has more on their quest to bring a new development to town.
2 years ago, MTN visited this plot of land in Fort Benton where one couple was looking to make the annexation of real estate a reality. Now, these couple of years later, that dream has become just that.
Couple Shay and Katie Richter don't have an expansive real estate background, but that hasn't stopped them from tackling one of Fort Benton's biggest needs. 2 years ago, they were just getting started. This week, they've finally broken ground.
They're actually installing the water and sewer infrastructure, which will be connected to the city's mains.
The land, known as the Little Sage subdivision, was formerly owned by the county and was recently annexed by the city, allowing Shay and Katie to facilitate 23 lots, each around 0.75 to 0.95 acres in size.
Ever since we got annexed in July, the process has really taken off.
In the span of 4 months, an engineering design was conducted, a submission was sent to the DEQ, construction bids were reviewed and accepted, and construction began. It's a town that is in desperate need of an injection of housing. A recent poll from NeighborWorks Montana of residents shows about 28% view housing options as the most important need in town. 78% of individuals prefer an increase in single-family homes. Katie tells me you're unlikely to find a listing under $500,000, turning away all first-time home buyers.
People wanting to either move back to Fort Benton or make this their new home is that they have trouble finding a house that meets their needs.
By making lots available for homes to satisfy the needs of retirees, new families, and those looking to upsize, the Richters are hoping this will allow for other local properties to infill, creating space for first-time home buyers and a boost in population for one of Montana's gems.
Coming from the Joplin-Chester area, we've watched some of those towns not necessarily fade away, but for the last 50, 60 years have kind of been on the steady decline. This is a great opportunity for people that are looking to get out of the bigger cities, get a little space, and hopefully it can grow Fort Benton.
6 lots are currently under contract. As for one of the lots, it's been reserved by the Richters, of course.
So at least you know you'll have somewhat decent neighbors. You get to move to Fort Benton and we'll help fill up the subdivision or have you over for a barbecue.
Once the sewer and water has been installed, gas and electric will follow. Shay and Katie hope to have all 4 utilities installed by the end of January. From Fort Benton, Owen Skornick-Hayes, MTN News.
Tonight we have an update on the salmonella outbreak in the Electric City. Initial test results show that several cases of salmonella in Great Falls are connected to a national outbreak. MTN's Anissa Coomer reports with the latest information.
The Cascade County City Health Department have linked at least 3 of the recent salmonella cases in the Great Falls public school system to the multi-state outbreak. They are now conducting investigations into what food items were the cause. The Cascade City County Health Department has had 11 confirmed cases of salmonella, 9 of which were within the Great Falls Public Schools. Samples of the salmonella strain have been sent to the state lab for testing.
So when we started this investigation, we were aware of a multi-state outbreak, which meant that there were cases that had the same salmonella strain across the country. And at this point, that's been linked to 12 different states. And so we were awaiting results to see if our cases were also a part of that outbreak. So we have confirmed, this week we found out that the 3 original cases that we sent to the state lab for testing did match the same strain.
The health department has been working closely with the school district to remove all fresh produce from the schools until further notice. There have been no new cases since November 13th.
Produce is often one of the sources of salmonella, and some of the signs and information that we had from the state, CDC, FDA was kind of pointing to somewhere in that produce realm.
Once those food samples are tested, they will work with the state to develop next steps and figure out when it will be safe to reintroduce produce back into the schools. Results from the state lab are expected back in the next week. The Cascade City County Health Department is still urging those who are experiencing symptoms of salmonella to see a healthcare provider. In Great Falls, Anissa Coomer, MTN News.